enchanting animals. We wake blissfully and step outside for a daily walk. A beautiful world awaits. Full of beauty, fresh, alive and fragrant. And the animals await me. They are so near and dear. And they entertain us with their companionship. Walking in bare feet on the soft grass. We see two swans flying. On noticing us, they begin to put on a show. And they dance in the sky in perfect synchronicity. A graceful cadence that caresses our eyes. Then they land gracefully on the water of the lake. They glide to the bank and gaze at us with eyes. A lion lopes alongside us. He greets us by gently rubbing our legs, then moves with elegance, his tail gently dancing from side to side. He walks lightly with a natural rhythm, his head held high with pure pride. He joins the swans to drink from the water. And as dear friends, they lay down in the grass, close together. We love this morning walk. As we continue our walk, a peacock comes beside us, then several others begin to follow. They form a circle around us and opening their feathers like huge, colorful fans. They turn around gently and rhythmically in unison. Closing their feathers and opening them again.
वो दिन कितने प्यारे थे, ये दिन भी कितने प्यारे हैं। तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे, तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे। बाबा अब भी साथ हमारे हैं।
विश्व के मालिक अपने बालक सो मालिक बच्चों को देख रहे हैं। सभी बच्चे इस समय भी स्व के मालिक है और अनेक जन्म भी विश्व के मालिक परमात्मा बालक मालिक बन जाए। ब्रह्मांड आत्माएं अर्थात मालिक आत्माएं इस समय सर्व कर्ममय इंद्रियों के मालिक हो, अधीन आत्माएं नहीं हो। अधिकारी अर्थात मालिक हो, कर्म इंद्रियों के वशीभूत नहीं हो। इसलिए बालक सो मालिक हो। बालकपन का भी ईश्वरी नशा अनुभव करते हो और स्वराज के मालिकपन का नशा भी अनुभव करते। डबल नशा है, डबल नशा है। नशे की निशानी है अविनाशी रूहानी खुशी। सदा अपने को विश्व में खुश नसीब आत्माएं समझते। वह मेरा श्रेष्ठ भाग्य अर्थात श्रेष्ठ नसीब बच्चे, मैं आपके सदा साथ हूँ।
Om Shanti. Avyak signals. In order to pass in the final test, increase the power to discern. You develop the power to discern with concentration and focus of the intellect. For this, you need to be beyond the upheaval of wasteful and impure thoughts and have the stage of taking all sweetness from the One. If your intellect and stage fluctuates in many tastes, then the power to discern reduces. And because of not being able to discern Maya, she makes you her customer. Then you cannot recognize this is Maya. You cannot even tell when something is wrong. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today's day 19. Creating heaven inside ourselves. Knowing the relation of myself. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone. You all okay? You keep yourself well, happy? Yes? Yes, everyone. I am seeing happy. Very good. Every day, Baba gives us so many beautiful treasures. And every day, like he's creating the respect I should have for the self. We call it self-respect, but what should I think about myself? So Baba said that if you are Baba's child, a Brahmin, then you are masters. And life of Brahmin means to have imperishable happiness. There should be a good balance of being a child and master. You are masters, so have intoxication of a child. So every day when we listen to Murli, Baba keep increasing our respect for the self. So my relationship with my own self should be of that respect. And when I have that respect, the others will also have pure feelings and respect, but also I will give respect to others. Help others also to see how valuable they are, how Baba's love is for them. Keep telling them some beautiful things which can increase the self-respect of others. There's so many different points Baba spoke this morning. We will revise it for whole week. But today we will take practice for ourselves. So think about how Baba respects us and how to have respectful relationship with the self. Why Baba is saying it, and of course this point of when there is concentration of intellect, your power to discern will increase. I think it definitely needs more reflections, which we will do as our homework today. And think about how does it increases power to discern when there is concentration. And this way, what will happen? Our attention will be more on this practice of uh, have concentration of intellect. Take intellect in silence, connect intellect with Baba, or deep reflections, churning of points in different ways. Because when we listen to something, then when we start doing it, it really needs a lot of thinking. And so when we reflect, we are clear, then we are able to experience that. The connection of concentration of intellect with power to discern. It's really beautiful, right? So today, that is for tomorrow, our practice is my relationship with myself. So when I really be that master image of virtues, but then the example which is given is that how I think most of you know that story that Lakshmi had to choose her husband. So they call it swam. Swam is self. So what you will, uh, how will you wed yourself with whom, right? So they say that when Lakshmi, it was announced, will put the garland and she will choose whom she wants to garland as her husband. So there were a lot of different kings were invited, and so Narayan was the one, but he also had a friend who was Narad. His name was Narad, and he will always chant God's name and was known as a messenger too. So they both went. So there was many, and Lakshmi went around, and then she put the garland around the neck of Narayan. But like Narad was so kind of intoxicated. He closed eyes and he thought, but when he opened, garland was not in his neck. So he was very upset about it, very upset. And he was angry and upset. How come she chose to put garland around the neck of Narayan? It should be me, right? So anyway, he was upset and they were returning, and he questioned, why not me? So someone said, look at your face. So there was a pond, and when he peeped in the pond, he saw his face very red, like full of anger and rage, and it really looked like monkey. So he said, oh, I didn't know that how I looked. And so Baba gives this example that it does happen sometimes. What happens is very subtle. That's what we call Maya also. Unnecessarily, you start doubting yourself, you start doubting your fortune. And recently, something happened. We couldn't help that person because of certain reasons. And her old sanskar just emerged. And when it emerged, I couldn't believe even, I don't look at that face even. So instead of becoming Narayan, one becomes Narad. That means virtues disappear. Internal upheaval, what Baba said, Maya's internal upheaval begins of wasteful thinking. All kinds of thoughts come, And then also such soul speaks also and make themselves feel that they are not treated well, and all kinds of, which is not true at all, right? Because Baba loves everyone and Baba respects everyone, and in the family also we all respect each other. So that means what we have to remind ourselves, that if I want to be garlanded, first you have to see, can I garland myself now? Can I really select myself in this stage that I could be Narayan? That's what we are becoming, right? A deity. And main deity is Narayan, worship worthy, with all the virtues. And people always pray, worship, so that they can get blessings from Narayan. So tomorrow, whole day, I'm sure it's not necessary that any situations can arise, but there is possibility. And when the situation is there, then what should emerge in me at that time? The virtue, right? I need to trust, I need to understand, I need to have patience, I need to be sweet, right? Because it is only at the time when you feel challenged or you feel uh, that you are not respected or whatever, that is the time to use the virtue to overcome, and not allow the sanskar. Like Baba said, sanskar is what attracts then the mind, and then you start getting all kinds of thoughts, right? And some, when they speak also, you can't believe. But no, it's not true. So how to respect yourself, be in that self-respect, use the virtues all the time. And when you use all the virtues all the time, they start becoming your nature, Even little bit is less, even that emerges, right? So if I have 90% of patience, 10 is still lacking. So that 10 will emerge, can emerge. So I have to pay more attention, make good efforts so that I don't allow that inner upheaval. Discern it, and Maya is coming now. And then be consistent and stable, and all the time your image of all the virtues, not only in awareness, but also in practical life, there has to be image of all the divine virtues. Oh, Shanti.
Om Shanti Didi, Om Shanti.
That can, Om Shanti.
Today I was watching the bulb that you offered this morning, and also the pleasant visit of Nevabai visiting all of you in Peace Village. And I was just thinking how, as you've been saying many times, how fortunate, even Baba said today, how fortunate we are. And I think as you have talked to so many souls over the years, Loki and Aloki, same as maybe I haven't talked to so many as you have, but I've always found that if there's any problem, there's always somehow some lack of self-respect, as you just was talking about. And that means, probably it means that there's some impurity, and therefore there's difficulty to concentrate. Because if there's any impurity, it's like if you put salt in a pan of water and you heat it and you just evaporate the water off, what's left over is the salt. In the same way, if you try to concentrate, you'll end up with the impurity. So I was thinking, just today, for example, I was talking to someone and she was telling me that she had difficulty to trust her center coordinator. And I was thinking that trust, if Baba trusts the soul, who am I not to trust? But this whole thing of self-respect and trust, they're obviously connected. And I think also the lack of self-respect and the inability to concentrate are connected. So therefore it ruins our tapasya. But how to keep self-respect? Using this example that Baba talked about of being the child and the master, how do we keep self-respect with that balance between child and master? The child is more pure and innocent, but the master will forget the innocence and try to take over. So how do we keep the balance? And what's that to do with self-respect?
Myself and also create like how Baba looks at me, what Baba says for me. Because we cannot, whatever was Lokik life and whatever we were, but when we come to Baba, the words Baba speak for each one of us are very respectful. So for me, I always say, even if someone will say, not, it doesn't happen often, but when I came to USA, and so when somebody said, oh, you're not meant to be here because, I'm Indian, whatever reason. I said, well, of course I could leave if Baba tells me, because Baba sent me here, no? So Baba sent me, when Baba says, I'm really very happy to go back because I love Bharat. But what I do whenever there is, some such vibrations come, words come, opinions come, I always remember what Baba says for me. Because now I belong to Baba, so my respect is coming from God. And if I cannot give myself that respect, what will others give? Even, so if I'm able to maintain the respect which Baba gives me, I will have self-respect and others will also respect. Because when I'm using that self-respect, I'm serving in a proper way. And when I am serving, then others will have their own pure feelings and respect for me. But then generally we are so much used to what others say, others' opinion about me, and that's where I think big challenge comes. So one thing I will definitely propose and everyone to keep remembering the words of Baba. Oh, God said this for me. God looks at me like this. Baba is looking at me as princess. So why, whatever others look at, why should I be affected by that? So I think that is very important. And this whole word of relationship with my own self. And I have to respect myself, right? In the sense of I should be proud about the fortune Baba has given me. Baba said that this at Confluence said you have all the attainments. So think about all the fortune and all the attainments. Don't bring back the past, what your life was, Lokik way. I think that this could help. This is how I help myself. Baba's drishti on me and Baba's words towards me. I have to just be embodiment of that. Just keep reminding myself, oh, Baba says this sweet child, lovely child, beloved child, jewel of contentment, you are jewel of my forehead, so many beautiful things Baba say. Keep thinking about that, right?
When I first came to Baba, you probably remember in the 70s that if you ask the question to anyone, are you going to be Lakshmi and Narayan? And everyone with their hand up immediately. Yes, of course. Why not? But the story that you were just telling, we have to be very honest with ourselves. I remember Daddy G once said that if you want to become an emperor, you have to serve at least 100,000 people. That's what she said. And there's a relationship also. It struck me from today's Morley also that there's a connection between tapasya and serving, because I have tyag tapasya seva. So if I'm not preparing myself to serve, to give, as Baba was saying today in the morning, to give, and that's probably the shortest path to becoming a deity, a devta, is someone who gives. If I'm not preparing myself to serve, then why would Baba give me power? So I may be trying to make efforts to meditate and meditate and meditate, but my life is not oriented towards serving. So why would Baba give me power? And how do we really check ourselves in the mirror of our hearts? If we're, if I want to marry Lakshmi, that's in tomorrow's homework even. If I want to marry Lakshmi, what do I have to check in myself besides what I just mentioned?
But also it was services, self-service and world service. But Baba gave such beautiful way for transformation and be tapasvi, and which I liked very much, is that if I can change the sorrow into happiness, that means I'm always happy and I do not take sorrow, whatever happens. So when I'm transforming my personal sorrow into happiness, that transformation will transform the world also. That means if I am serving the world to create the world of happiness, first I have to create that happiness in me. It was really very, very beautiful. And also, I liked it very much about if you are really serve, you have to be lovely and detached. Because even if, like Mama gave teachings, everyone understood, everyone accepted, because whatever she said what was necessary, but sweetly. She didn't make a loud sound or shouted or make soul feel guilty. Rather, when soul was about to feel guilty, her love will even remove that one. But also, that soul will realize that I shouldn't make this mistake again. So I like, because this is Mama's month, very soon we'll have that, like whatever was the complaint or the mistake will come to her. So she will call that soul and start conversing, appreciating how many qualities she has. And in the end, she will say, but if you really pay attention little bit on this aspect, you can really be number one. So in the end, she will explain. And then whatever she explained doesn't say, I am telling you this. She says, Baba tells us all of this. Baba says like this. So Baba knowledge and then realization, very beautiful way. And that is why I like lovely and then detached, right? Because if I'm not lovely, other soul will suffer from, you get detached, but other one is still having a lot of wasteful thoughts. One time Dadi Janki said, okay, you know how to keep yourself okay. You make yourself free from wasteful. What about other person? Still having a lot of wasteful thought. So if I am lovely, then I am helping that soul. But if I am only detached and that soul is internally going through a lot of wasteful, so I could cooperate, I could help by being loving. So prepare for services, bringing that self transformation, and also be loving and detached, I think makes us a good tapasvi. As Baba said, it's not just sitting for hours in yoga, but if there is fire of yoga, then change whatever sorrow you have taken and make it into happiness. And happiness is our life. That's what Baba said, right?
Yeah. Didi, I was like you. you met Baba how many times, even Sakar Baba, then Avyak Baba, hundreds of times, I imagine. I also had the fortune of meeting Bapdada maybe 70, 80 times in those early years. But when Daddy and Didi asked me to go to Brazil, the next day Baba was coming, and I went to Baba and I said, Baba, you want me to go to South America? And Baba said, yes. And any special instructions? And he gave me a whole lot of instructions, especially in those early years. But I've also seen that anyone who came in front of Baba in those personal meetings, Baba would show that he knows something about them. He knows them. And you've probably seen that too. So I'm absolutely convinced that everyone who hasn't had that opportunity, if they were literally sitting in front of Baba, Baba would definitely show that he knows them and he would give them that encouragement. So we have to have the heart-to-heart conversation with Baba. It's really a key thing. Of course, seeing through the eyes of knowledge, as you said, seeing the truth of others, keeping focus on mukti and jiva mukti. But at the same time, how important is the heart-to-heart conversation in order to get that feeling from Baba that we are that respectful and loving and fortunate soul? It has to be a personal connection rather than a generic one. How do you see the importance of the heart-to-heart conversation with Baba?
That is why at every place we have Baba's room. And when you go to Baba's room, then it's really one-to-one. One is sitting in meditation when everyone is sitting, other is taking time to go in Baba's room. And one thing I find in Baba's room, like he's waiting for us, and you don't have to make appointment, and you can start chatting with Baba. And just sit, and when we talk to Baba, you will get answers, right? That's what you are encouraging. And I also tell everyone when they come to center that before class or after class, just go to Baba's room for a few moments and then you chat with Baba. And I think that the whole purpose of having Baba's room, was that we can go, have respect for Baba, love for Baba, then talk to Baba in Baba's room. I think it's very helpful. So your suggestion, but also I am suggesting Baba's room because, he's there, right? So to have that chat and you will get not only answers, but when Baba's saying yes, you will have success, right? He just said, do it. Whatever help you need, power you need. You on your own journey in South America must have seen that how Baba makes things happen, how things become possible, how success follows all the time. Because it was not your own dictates of mind, it was Baba's directions, right? So
Yes.
whether you feel something, whether a senior says something, you have to go and confirm with Baba. So when you give to Baba, then power will come from Baba and you will be able to do it in a very, very easy way, and everything will be provided, Wonders can happen, which happened when you went to South America. Look at now. There's so much now.
So much. Because Baba's the one that so I think tomorrow we're going to look at the homework now, but everyone can also go to Baba's room and just check with Baba how much he wants us to become deities. Right?
and how soon he wants us to be deities.
Right. Okay, Didi, let's look at the homework tomorrow and see you tomorrow also.
Yes.
Today, knowing the religion of myself tomorrow. Today, or which will be tomorrow, I practice the golden age sanskar of feeling so worthy I can marry Lakshmi. my experiencing the imperishable nature of my virtue. So have a happy practice tomorrow, everyone. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Brother Ken and Didi. It was wonderful. Every day is special, right? Okay, so another flight, and would like to welcome our pilots. Welcome. We are ready with our boarding pass. Welcome to Vikti Journey, Madhuban, the forest of honey, where heaven begins.
कल्याण रूप शिव संकल्पों का, कल्याण रूप शिव संकल्पों का मूर्त रूप है ज्ञान सरोवर, ज्ञान सरोवर।
बाबा तेरा बनने में सुख मिलता इलाही है।
क्या बाबा बोलते नाम जान की गए
जंगल में मंगल हुआ, वीरा में बहार आई है। जंगल में मंगल हुआ, वीरा में बहार आई है। निश्चय की विजय हुई, मेहनत वो रंग लाई है। शिव ने शिव शक्तियों से इसका रूप संवारा है। शिव ने शिव शक्तियों से इसका रूप संवारा है। अंबर से धरती पर जैसे प्रभु ने स्वर्ग उतारा है। प्रभु ने स्वर्ग उतारा है। ओ ज्ञान सरोवर प्यारा
चमन के फूल गा रहे,
सितारे गुनगुना रहे।
चमन के फूल गा रहे, सितारे गुनगुना रहे।
सौ सौ बसंत की सदी,
सौ सौ बसंत की सदी।
बधाई हो बधाई हो बधाई हो।
लहराया
तो समझते हैं हम यहीं रह जाओगे।
Om Shanti, everyone. Want to wish you, all the fathers, a happy day you had, I'm sure, with the Lokik family and with your spiritual family. So happy, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Om Shanti.
ईश्वर से हमने मुलाकात की है, मन भावनी सी मधुर बात की है। ईश्वर से हमने मुलाकात की है, मन भावनी सी मधुर बात की है। खुशी हमको प्रभु से मिलन की, मिली है खुशी हमको प्रभु से मिलन की। वरदानों की हम पे बरसात की है, वरदानों की हम पे बरसात की है। ईश्वर से हमने मुलाकात की है, बात की है। धरती सी है धीरता हमने पाई, मन को गगन सी मिली है ऊंचाई। धरती सी है धीरता हमने पाई, मन को
Om Shanti and good night, everyone. Om Shanti. Good night.
Recording stopped.